This is Mario with MIA Microflight once again, and in this video I'm going to be talking about this particular kit that I just purchased. Just got it, and I want to explain some of the reasons why I got this kit. It caught my attention back in 1990, back in the 19 around 1982. I started to develop a radio control helicopter. Back in those days, the only radio control helicopters that you could purchase were of the gas type. There was one, I believe, helicopter that was electric, and that was made by a German company, and it was a large helicopter. And so back in those days, I wanted a small helicopter that I could learn how to fly and train with in the comfort of my home. Back in those days, I lived in Chicago, and during the winters, it's very difficult to go out and just fly these things. So I wanted something that I could train year round with. So I started designing my own radio control helicopters, coming from the line of helicopters that I had designed before in rubber powered form. So I went from rubber power to free flight electric, and then to radio control, and that started back in the beginning in the 80s. So this one right here that you're seeing here is a plate that I had. I sent this to a gentleman in Akron, Ohio, and it's a laser cut full helicopter design that I came up with. This particular design right here has all the framework, has all the mechanical movements such as the rotor head, blade grips, all that stuff, as well as some. This is done out of 1/16 plywood, and this is on a 1/32 plywood. This has all the fins and some additional parts for the mechanics. This is the tail section, the tail blade, the joint, the hinge points. So the fins and stuff like that, you can probably see that here. It's pretty obvious, what these parts look like. If you understand helicopters, and so the fin and so on and so forth. So this is a secondary sheet. I had two of these laser cut back in the day, and we're talking about this is when I did this is 1995. So like I was saying, I sent to this gentleman, Vince Gregzanic at Akron, Ohio, that I came across. I don't know how I came across his name or his company. I believe through maybe some local hobby store that gave me the name and said, there's a gentleman that's doing these laser cutting for the hobby, and check him out. I don't know how I came to his company or his name. It's I mean, we're talking back in 1995. But this is stuff that I had sent to. I sent them the drawing. I sent them the file, the DXF file, and then he took it from there. And I believe I do remember that I had spoken to him over the phone back in those days. You called somebody via a regular phone line, and you talked that way or face to face if you lived in the same city or state. So he cut this, and you can see how the laser that he used is not really dialed in as what I'm going to show you in this kit right here. But this is what this is almost the kind of the beginnings of the laser cutting industry here. And I don't know what laser here. I think he had a 60-watt CO2 laser. So he cut those some of these. This is the first sheet that I cut all the parts from, and I have the helicopter, but it's in storage. I have to go through a lot of boxes to dig it out. The fully built helicopter. But you can see also this is what's like done. This was done in 16-inch cardboard. It's sort of a test. I guess he did that, and he sent me all this stuff, back. So anyway, this is where I come from. Back in 1995, I already had this, You know, I did this all this, and you can see all the interlocking parts. I mean, I could have used some of these areas here to for other things, but this is this has got all the parts that needed for a full. This is a full helicopter. So when you start breaking down this and start assembling like a puzzle, like this puzzle right here that I you know this pinball machine, it builds into a helicopter, and everything is interlocking, as you can see here. All the parts are interlocking. Of course, with this one, my design calls for gluing, CA gluing all these parts, or epoxying all these pieces here, so they, because it's a helicopter and needs to, and it's under mechanical stress, because once gets going, you know, there's vibration. It's got to be assembled permanently with glue. So this is my kit. I wanted to bring this up as an introduction here to what I'm going to show you here. These are the laser cut parts from this kit here. As I said, I just bought this kit. And what you get in the box here, I'm pretty sure there are other videos of people unboxing and doing this. This is not a video to an unboxing video, but more a comparison to show, you know, where I come from and where I'm going to with this particular kit. So this is what you get in this box here. It's beautifully packed. I've been reading a lot of reviews on this particular kit from this company. They have so many other products that they're everything is laser cut and everything's whimsical. The key thing with these things is it's whimsical. There's that element there that is very attractive. But it's a high quality kit. You can see by the laser cutting here, there are no scorch or smoke markings as on my original kit from back in the day. You know, it's this right here. You can see some of these parts, you know, where the laser wasn't probably dialed in, or maybe it was too hot on one of these some of these areas. But this is a perfectly cut kit, you know, with modern day lasers. I don't know what laser they're using to do this, but it's professionally done. You get professionally injection molded parts with this. These are all injection molded pieces in this tray right here. You get a professionally done nomenclature, instruction assembly manual. I mean, everything is professionally done here. I don't know where this company is located. I'm gonna have to do some more research, or maybe they tell you here where this is manufactured. But I typically tend to look at those things first, you know, to see who's the company. But we have another tray right here with the electronics here, so it's a very well done kit right here. And being myself a manufacturer of radio control products, you know, mainly ultralights, microlights, auto gyros, you know, that type of anything with that flies. I do similar things with I number all my bags, and in the instructions, as these instructions call for, it says, you know, due to plenty of parts, suggest to keep them in a box properly to prevent loss during the assembly. I say the same thing with my kits, is, you know, do not open the bags until you get to that step, so that everything goes smoothly. With step 1, you assemble these parts right here in this bag, step 2, and so on and so forth. And so this kit is very much similar to that that concept of assembly. And so I wanted to capture this on a video here for not only for comparison and the sake, and why I got this kit. I mean, this when I saw this online, actually I've been hit by the bug of building a pinball machine. I already started designing one. And then I stumble on this, and I go, "Wow, you know, that's kind of cool little machine here." I didn't know it was this small. I thought it was a little bit bigger. This kit will run you about $160, $158, $59, depending where you get it from. But I got this one on with a little percentage off for $134. It took about 5 days to get here. And I just got it, so I'm really excited about the kit, about the quality mainly, not so much about the assembly, because the assembly is, I mean, I assemble a lot of stuff, and that's just part of the things that I like to do. to relax and just to get my mind off, the more serious things that are going on in the world. So from a kit perspective, I mean, it's an excellent kit. As this video probably shows, it's probably some other, probably hundreds of other videos, because I'm pretty sure this company is selling a lot of these kits. And every video that I stumble upon while doing a little more research on this, every customer that has bought this is ecstatic about this kit. They really give this a really high rating, and that's one of the reasons that I also bought this. But more so because it brought back memories of my, what I did here with this particular design. Though, even though this is not related, this is a helicopter radio control. This is a pinball machine, but this is pretty much the size of this kit here. This is the other side of the. This is I believe this is 1/8. Yeah, this looks like 1/8. I read that it's basswood. Basswood is a very nice it's a very nice wood for light stuff. I use basswood in making my own blades for helicopters, for the auto gyros in particular. But I've used basswood also to make blades for my radio controlled electric helicopters that I used to make, the micro, sub micro, and palm size. That's how my company got started back in 1999. Even though I go back way back, to these years here, where when I established MIA Designs. So MIA Designs MIA Microfly is an extension of MIA Designs, being the MIA Designs. I created that back in 1995, and I still use MIA Designs in my email. If you look at my email, it's miadsgns@cox.net without the vowels here. So that's where that comes from. That's where a little background on my company for those that are new to my channel, that are just stumbling on my videos. And granted, like I always say in many of my videos, I don't get a lot of views. I don't know why that is, even though I think my stuff deserves a little more higher views. I used to get views in the 100,000 views, easy, back a number of days, when I first started. And then when YouTube was sold over to, I believe, Google, they changed a lot of things. They implemented some algorithms, and my views started to drop. So I'll be lucky if I get 100, 200 views. And I'm not associated with any company. I am a one-man operation, and maybe that's probably another reason why. Because a lot of these people, they get a lot of views. They're linked to other companies. They're networked with other individuals that are there to promote and put out ads. And it's not that I don't believe in that. I just don't do that. And I've never done that. I've always been a single person doing my own thing, my own way, not relying on big bro to help me out. I rather do it myself, do it my own way, and if people find that interesting, great. I always also say that I rather have one good, solid character person than 100 individuals who are not not real. So one person of character to me is gold, and in these days that we live in this crazy world, those individuals, one person of character, solid character, is very valuable, and that to me means a lot, because my company was built on character, on being honest with people. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but admitting those mistakes is part of that character that has carried my name, my company, MIA Microflight, over 25 years since establishing it back in 1999. I hope it extends a little more, even though I'm not really putting that much emphasis anymore on as I used to, on advertising. I don't advertise. A lot of my stuff is by word of mouth these days, and I really prefer it that way, because the people that come and buy my stuff, my ultralights, microlights, they are people. Most of them are serious. 9 out of 10 people are serious. They know what they're buying. They don't ask questions 1 out of those 10 people will ask questions and will not buy my stuff and will give me the runaround. So that's how just that works. And but 9 out of those people are solid customers, which I'm very thankful to. Okay, so that out of the way. Getting back to this is typically takes about 20 hours. I read, depending on your skill level, how how fast you can cut out all these parts. There's hundreds of parts that you need to cut out. Little tiny parts. I mean, look at the size of these little pieces here. So there's a lot of stuff to be done here. I've seen some of these kits painted. Very Some are very neatly painted. Some are very colorful, which brings out the circus theme, and that's what you want. In a product like this, you want to. Although you can just assemble it raw and just coat it with a light coat of varnish or a very thin coat of varnish, because you don't want paint or varnish to overtake the surfaces of these, especially where the ball has to roll or where it has to travel through. So this has got to be done methodically with a lot of thought as far as the painting and also the assembly, because there's so many pieces that they can even though this is professionally cut here. You still got to take care in not breaking these parts, because our hands tend to be a little bit strong, sometimes, for pieces like that, especially working with thin pieces of wood. So something to consider. But I am going to take my time. I just wanted to open this. Let me show you. I'm going to show you next my pinball machine that I've been working on before I stumble on this and I go, wow, let me just buy this just to see what it looks like. And because, like I said, it brought back memories. I go, wow, that's. I mean, a lot of stuff is done laser cut. There's nothing new. I'm not trying to say that this is anything of anything new or a new invention. The laser cutting has been working, for so many years now, the industry. But I just want to establish this comparison in my angle why I got this kit. So anyway, the pinball machine that I'm working on. Oh, let me just go back here to these pieces. All these pieces have a lot of pieces that are lenses. These are, I believe, these are lenses that fit inside the base. There are flippers. All that's injection molded, and of course you have a full set of electronics here. This is the main board here. I'm pretty sure they have computer here, a computer chip that's doing all the calculating, all the sensing. They have, of course, look how tiny these solenoids are. It's a very light little solenoids. Speaker, mechanical parts. There may be some tools and mechanical parts. There's the little ball that is done for the pull mechanism. There's a cord here that's DC. It's a DC jack to a USB cable. Some connectors, some switches. These are little tiny switches. These are very cute little switches. I've seen these switches in bigger. In fact, I have a lot of these switches that I use on machines and things like that. Just the regular switches, which are these are at 1/2 the size. So it's a very cute little kit here. The bumpers, I don't know what else is here. This tape, they give you some tape, and then the balls. Look at the balls. Those balls are, I would say, they're about 10 millimeter balls. I don't see a power supply here. No, they don't give you the power supply. So I guess you have to furnish the power supply, because I don't see the power supply here that would connect to this. So I believe the power supply you have to provide. I would imagine that this runs on 12-volt DC power supply. Okay, so this is the kind of the mentality here. So let me go back and show you my machine that I've been working on, my pinball machine, my own design. Okay, this is my own pinball machine, and very similar to. I mean, the layout on a pinball machine is typical. You know, you gotta have the flippers. Obviously, you gotta have these channels here for return of the balls. Um, this actually belongs right there. I was working on this this morning overnight. Uh, so I was pulling burning the midnight oil, as they say. These are my triggers, my bumpers that I show in my other video. I have another video that talks strictly on how I came up with these bumpers. Some additional bumpers here, and I have a kind of a belt. And so a lot of this stuff is very similar to the layout of that kit that I just showed you, because that is also based on a much larger, the full scale pinball machine. So a lot of the stuff is very as far as the layout is very similar. You know, you want to lay it out so that you have some level of excitement and fun. You know, you don't want to keep it boring. You know, just straight ways, or you know, you want to make it fun, and so that the ball also travels in so many ways. And the angles are, there's so many options for the angles, is depending on you know, how you shoot it and where the ball makes contact with the flippers. This is I was working also on this last night. I came up with this track system for the ball to travel. And here I'm using 3 different size balls. I'm using a this is a 1/2 inch, this is 5/8, and this is I believe 3/4 inch balls. The full size balls for the pinball machines, the full scale, are around 1 inch, 1 1/8 inch of an inch. So they're big balls. So these are the balls that I've been experimenting with here. I started with this little one here, but the one that's working better is this one right here, this 3/4 inch ball, because it hits better. It has a little more weight to trigger these a little bit faster, as opposed to this 1/2 inch ball, which does not have, you know, as much weight as this one. So this has a little more of a hard time triggering these sensors here. And even though I made these sensors very sensitive, as I was talking in my first video. So let me just turn on my power supply here. And I'm running 24, around 24.6. I could run this a little bit higher here. So these solenoids that I got are these types of solenoids. I bought 4 of these. One of this is bad. And that's typically what you get sometimes when you buy Chinese made products. You know, sometimes from Amazon, from when you buy things in you know, two for you know, when you get a deal, you know, they send you 2, but sometimes one doesn't work, so you end up paying for you know, you're not really saving. So this one's bad. So I'm gonna have to either it's too much trouble returning it to Amazon. I mean, I think I bought these I think 2 for $15, so $7 a piece. So I'll eat the $7 because I just don't want to go through the trouble of going to packaging this and sending it back to Amazon. You know, I'll eat the $7. If it was much higher, I wouldn't do that, because the companies should be able to replace, you know, those products, and Amazon is pretty good at doing that. I have no complaints from that perspective with Amazon. I have some other complaints, but this video is not about my complaining, and it's more about this machine here. So this is my table right here on my machine. And you can see my legs, right, all 3D printed. I just completed the side plates right here yesterday, and it's just done with stuff that I had laying around. I also did this manually. I do have a CNC machine that can take the size board and that can do all these holes precisely, but I decided to do this by hand because I don't want to set up my CNC machine. My CNC machine that can do this the size board. I need to set up the computer. I need to set up the software again, because the original computer that I was using, that crapped out a while back, and since that time that machine has been kind of just gathering dust. But I do want to fire that machine again, because it's a nice CNC machine that can do can do the size boards. And so I did this by hand. So a lot of the stuff is not really perfect, like the depth of that the depth of, well, not the depth of that. You can see these are the parts, and these all are lenses for LEDs. This is going to be a series of LEDs, and I have to tie these to circuit boards that are going to do the sequencing or the triggering. Well, I need more triggers here than other than these bumpers right here. But this is the machine, and let me just show you what happens here when you activate this. This one needs. I need to redo the trigger point here on my switch, because these switches here are much better. I did this a little bit different than this one. This was my original one, and I was having original trouble. See, it's not triggering, so I need to change my switch on that one. But this switching pretty decent. Something I found out that I didn't know this, because this is my first design of a machine. And I did this on CAD first. I was playing with a lot of layouts before I arrived at this one here. Something that I was not aware of is that the trigger point of this, when the ball hits here, and if you want this ball to bounce between these three, number one, the location of this has to be, in my opinion, after testing this and finding out that why am I getting that bouncing that you typically get on real pinball machines, is because the distance between these three components here, they need to be a lot closer, so that the ball does not have a chance to miss, the other trigger. So if this was closer, it would bounce back and forth like that from these three. The other thing that I noticed that I learned as I was testing this, experimenting with this, is the position, the orientation of these three triggers must also be kind of skewed. So because the ball tends to roll vertically all the time, wants to go down vertically, obviously because of the angle. And so if you put this on skewed, it's got a better chance of those three switching, with a little more definition than the way I did. I like things symmetrical, and that's the way I did this symmetrical, because that was my logic when I did this. I wanted this to look symmetrical. But I believe if I were to turn this, invert this, have this one right here instead, and I think I am going to do that. I'm going to remove that one, put it right here. It'll bring the distance of the ball traveling to this point right here a little bit closer, and perhaps when the ball comes out of here and it goes through this, I'm going to relocate these also, or reorient these bumpers, these just manual bumpers here. It'll be able to trigger this as the ball falls, and it'll hit the center here. It'll be a stop, but it'll trigger back into these other ones right here. So I think that would be better. The other option is to skew this at maybe 45 degrees, or maybe 30 degrees. Just kind of have it like this, where these three fingers would be the location of my bumpers. So I'm going to need to massage that a little bit there. This right here is just a bicycle bell that I was trying to make my own bells. I was trying to find little bells, and I was searching online to find these little bells, and all these little bells were kind of toyish looking bells. And then I type a bell ring in Amazon, and I came up with a bunch of these. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I came up with this ring bells they're just manual bells for bicycles, for kids' bikes, and so that does the work, So I'm using the bell as it comes, without the trigger point, and it's bolted from the bottom there. This has a spring underneath, so it's able to transfer that sound, through the vibration here. This can't be too loose and can't be too stiff, for this to work right here. So that's that bell. I have so many other of these bells. So here's another one that I already cut the portion of the bottom portion, the trigger point, which is just a spring operated kind of lever thing that hits here when you bring it back and let it go. So these things are all lit up right here. Underneath here there are little holes for LEDs. These are supposed to have here you can see the LED, that all the wires come here. The LEDs fit right in here. Where's my spacer here? These are my spacers, for my posts here. And this is the O-ring. The O-ring is a little bit short. I had to stretch this a little too tight, so I need to get bigger O-rings than this one right here. I have a whole box of O-rings that I bought all sizes, but this is the maximum size that comes in that kit. So I'm gonna need to buy some bigger ones. Basically, all the LEDs are connected here. All the wiring is done through there, and this is supposed to be. I have a contact switch here, just one of those leaf switches, you know. So when the ball hits this bumper right here, it also triggers the switch, and you can use that to trigger other things to generate scores and stuff like that. Other switches that need to be here is there's going to be a return switch right here with a pocket where when the ball, because I was noticing this has a really nice angle from this end right here. It really wants to go there, so that would be a nice location for a return switch. Have it stop there and then return the ball. So I'm going to do that there. These right here, they need some kind of just a contact switch. So when this is traveling, it scores, you know, some points when it goes through here. This right here is very similar to that other little machine where it has a ramp into this. A bridge or track system here that returns the ball somewhere either here or there. And I was planning on doing two of these like that, one there and another one right here from this point right here to return the ball. So that's the purpose of this track system. But this is basically my pinball machine. My flippers are just you know, just a spring. They're done very nicely. These run on skateboard ball bearings that's inside these cups right here. So I'm going to have to shape these little cups a little bit more, because the ball, if I use the little ball, it tends to sometimes get stuck in between that point right there. But it's not a major thing. This right here has a set of track lights. You know, I've seen this on pinball machines where they have lighting, you know, for the ball. So when the ball shoots, you know, all these little LEDs tend to light up as the ball travels through that, and that can be done with sensors. You know, some kind of a magnetic sensor as the ball is traveling through here. You know, it triggers all these LEDs. Or it can just be a sequential circuit that has just a I don't know, 4017. I'm thinking. Counter with some kind of a 555 timer, just to have this on. You know, every time you hit the switch here, boom, it turns it on and lights up that. Same thing with these other lights and trigger points. So this is my machine that I've been working on lately, on and off, you know, time permitting, you know. And so yeah, this is where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. I will probably do videos on that other machine. I don't plan on doing that right away, because all those little parts are probably, you know, I want to take my time and I want to set up a space to do that properly, and just take my time and do videos on that, even though there are so many videos on the construction of that Rokr little tiny pinball machine. But anyway, the underside of this machine, let me shut off my power supply here so I don't burn anything. Okay, so under the table